Clicking's hard.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah. Open it up good.
So, when we dated her last night, she was wearing, like, the purple belly dancey-ish
Like
thing.
Princess Jasmine kind of thing.
Yeah, and she had this hairstyle. Then when we brought her home, she had extensions, and now it's the morning, and she's back to the short hair, and she has the robe.
Well, that's a lot like marriage, man. Like, they get all good looking right before you marry them, and then after that, like, they start eating fucking frozen yogurt all the time, and it's nothing but cookie dough. Next thing you know, you're with a fat bitch. Please say something again. I sound like a monster right now. Okay.
I'll say this. One thing. She still looks fine.
She does.
For another thing, I am a betrothed man, and for the entirety of my relationship, my fiance has eaten pretty much everything I do, just in smaller quantities, and I'm a fat ass. So, and I don't mean I'm a fat ass in the sense of like I'm actually fat. I mean I'm a fat ass in the sense of like, those like cans of grated Parmesan you can get at Publix?
Oh, sure.
I'd pour that in my hand and just shoot it.
just like a horse's oat bag of Parmesan?
Yeah.
Can you shit? Or is it just like, like a cork in your colon?
I can shit. I do the same thing with sprinkles. When we have sprinkles.
Okay. I can see that more, though. I mean, that's kind of something more meant to be eaten that way. Because that's how you use it on ice cream. Like, you just put like a fucking handful of them on there and go to town.
Well, yeah, but that's the same thing you do with pasta. Put a handful of Parmesan on pasta and go to town.
That just blew my mind right now. It's like cheese sprinkles.
It is like cheese sprinkles.
Yeah.
That sounds like a Mitch Hedberg joke.
Cheese sprinkles.
I think grated Parmesan is just sprinkles for adults.
Oh my god. We got to bring him back to life just for like one night so you can do that joke.
You know what happens with human transmutation, though.
What?
Oh yeah, have you seen Full Metal Alchemist?
Seems gay. Not into it.
Not really, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
it has maybe the least homosexual undertones of any anime I've ever seen.
I didn't mean literally, I meant figuratively. Like I didn't mean like, the Winter Soldier kid was having sex with that knight. I didn't mean that.
The Winter Soldier kid was having sex with that knight.
Yeah, that's what the show is. I've seen the advertisements. It's like a kid with a metal arm and then like a knight.
They're brothers.
Well, that's gross that
they're not having sex.
They are.
They're not having sex.
You wouldn't have sex.
I would believe it if you were talking about Supernatural.
Hey, now. Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah. That show has. Yeah, man. Those two have so much sexual tension.
They do an awful lot for a set of brothers. Bros. Just a couple of bros.
Granted, if they did, like, kiss in one scene, I would be like, yeah, no. This isn't supposed to happen.
Yeah, this isn't how this works.
But, like, you two are brothers. But, like, if the actors kissed, like, off, like, in real life, I'd be like, oh, yeah, that totally makes sense.
Yeah, it's all coming together. Hey, is that a boob?
Yeah, that is a boob.
A little tiny boob?
I don't know if it's worth...
I'm not even going to worry about it, to be honest. YOLO. Right?
Sure.
That's what Mallard says. You see what I did? It's a Drake joke. It's a Mallard.
Yellow omelet likes Osiris.
Uh-huh. I don't even know what to say to that. That's just... That's a special kind of retarded.
Yelling old lady oncologist.
I like that one, though. That's a good one. That's the song I want to hear. Because you say that, and I imagine like an old lady oncologist yelling into a vagina.
That's gynecologist.
Cancerous vagina.
That's still gynecologist. I'm not even sure what oncologist is. I forgot. I'm gonna check on that. Is it cancer?
Yeah. Cancer doctor.
Oncology.
No.
This. Oh, Shane's choking. Hold tight, guys. Yeah, he's gonna live.
I'll make it.
Yep, you're right. The study and treatment of tumors.
Boom! Shane is right twice. 2 times. So this.
She wore a white handkerchief and gloves that didn't come down all the way.
It didn't rhyme.
Doesn't have to.
It does have to.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, like after she wore a white handkerchief, maybe like.
Okay.
And her bikini made me stiff.
She wore a raspberry beret, the kind you buy in a secondhand store.
Yeah, are you trying to say that you're like on par with Prince right now?
I am not trying. I am not trying to say that I am on par with Prince. I am just saying that those didn't rhyme. It rhymed when he said raspberry beret, and if it was warm, she wouldn't wear much more. But I don't give a shit about rhyming. I'm not writing a song here. I'm just spouting shit. That's exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm spouting shit that doesn't matter.
See, it's that attitude, Gam. That attitude that kept you out of the Navy. I don't even know where that came from. At no point have you ever expressed an interest in being in the Navy.
Yeah, no.
But it's because you know. It's because you know that fucking cavalier attitude of yours is never gonna fly. Writing checks your ass can't cash.
I was
Everybody's seen Top Gun.
I played a tabletop role-playing game with Morgan and her friends once, based on Fallout.
Okay.
And it was set like in the Deep South, and there was like a new confederacy.
Oh sure.
And my character was like a wisecracking, gambler or something, and he like enlisted in this mission they were going on just to get some money, and in one of the missions we were doing, I had to distract the captain, so I went up to him and he was like, "What do you want?" Because he already hated me, and I was just like, I couldn't sleep, and you seemed like one for pillow talk.
Hey.
And this character is, like captain of the Navy.
Yeah.
And there's no way in hell I would act like that in real life. I would behave with like nothing but veneration and respect.
Oh sure.
But like I also love the idea of being the guy who has the gall to be like to just troll a commanding officer.
And and kind of on that note, that's something I love about tabletop games.
Mm-hmm.
Is getting to like create that character and pretend you're them for a while. Like there was one, I wish I could remember the name of it. I always want to call it Sherwood Forest, but I can't remember what it was exactly. But a friend of mine had it, and essentially it was like the sheriff of Nottingham, and you would all take turns being him, and the other players would have this like sack of goods that they're trying to bring in.
Yeah.
And some things you couldn't bring, but you could like bribe the sheriff or just straight up lie to him. But if you got caught, you had to pay him, stuff like that. And it took like one turn before I was just like the most stereotypical little British dude. And I loved her second.
Sir, if you check inside of my bag, you will find only the finest baking wares. I'm here to serve my bread to the people. That's what I'm here for. I hear there's a great deal of trouble with rats, that no one can eat anymore. But I've come to rectify the situation.
But rest assured, I will wake up every morning with my tray like always, the same bread and rolls to sell.
Oh yes. I love you, man.
We did another one once. It was a D&D campaign, but we were trying this new thing where we would all take turns being the DM.
Is that still a thing?
D&D?
Yeah.
That's still very much a thing.
Oh.
We would take turns being the DM because the guy who was normally the DM was just like getting too busy, like with school and stuff.
Yeah.
So we would just take turns. We would like each rotate out weeks.
You're being the what?
The DM, the dungeon master,
Oh.
the guy who designs
the guy
the
makes
story.
the story.
Yeah, the guy who
Okay.
makes the story.
I got you.
But like the problem was we all kind of underestimated just how good this guy was at being a dungeon master. He was like, he's a great actor, and he's really good at making stories and rolling with the punches and stuff. And I volunteered to be DM one week, and I prepared nothing.
Yeah.
So I got there.
Exactly.
I got there, and I'm just like, fuck it. I'm making this up as I go. And so I ended up crafting this story about like a dwarf pirate.
Yeah.
Who like, because their base of operations in that campaign was a strip club on the bay.
Awesome.
So I just barreled in,
Yeah.
like with my entire crew, just like coming in completely unannounced and just spouting a bunch of gibberish that nobody understands, talking like I've known everybody there forever. Like, the pint of your finest ale, and give me a woman. Hey, so where's Thundercock?
Where's Thundercock?
And essentially the story that I ended up ad-libbing was, I want you to get me sex slaves.
Very nice.
It's a total sausage fest on my boat here, and we have been out at sea for several months, and we all need a good release. Because we quite frankly, it's starting to stink in there, and and you can't walk anywhere without just getting repeatedly jabbed in the side. It's very disorienting.
Oh, yeah. Jesus Christ.
And we heard you guys attract the best, the best in the business for stripping and prostitution and the like.
And the like.
And one of my favorite parts about the whole thing was like everything I did was so nonsensical that like all the other players just started hating him so much that eventually when the quest was over and I took them back on the boat to pay them, like I said like, and so you get down to the hull of the ship, and it's just a blasphemous amount of money that he has, and like one guy starts sneaking up on me, I think because he like wanted to kill me and take the rest of the gold for himself or something, and I had the character said like, just hold on a second, I got to go to this pile. This is the pile of money that I like to pay people with, and the guy just butted in without skipping a beat. He was like, I moved to jump and stab this guy in the throat. And he rolled like a nat 20. Like he rolled a 20 on the die, and I was like, oh, that is a resounding success. Like you jump on him and you were just stapled to this guy, and you're stabbing into his throat repeatedly until his head just comes off because there's nothing left. There's no space wide enough for you to stab anymore. That was a nice time.
I didn't realize that game could like be fun. Like
It
that.
can be, but like, I mean, I don't partake in it nearly as often as Morgan does, like, because
I didn't realize there was all this like story building involved in it.
Oh yeah, there's definitely lots. It can be extremely epic.
Yeah. I guess I was just like a guy on the outside looking in at it. Like I just knew like it was usually like the weird kids in school playing it.
Yeah.
I never knew anyone like normal playing it.
When I first told my parents that that I was gonna try playing Dungeons and Dragons with Morgan, my dad was like, hey, be careful now. I don't want you like summoning the devil or anything, because he was a child of the '70s, and that's how he knew Dungeons and Dragons.
Really?
It was like the weird kids in school, and like I think it had like, I don't know. I guess people back then thought that it had just some kind of like satanic.
Yeah.
Kind of like the way people look at metal music today, like don't you run with the metal heads.
Yeah. Those kids with the devil music and the tattoos.
And the tattoos. Speaking of tattoo, I actually got a tattoo idea that I think I finally settled one. Like, if I ever decide to get a tattoo, I think I know what it's going to be.
Did you almost say a tattoo?
I did almost say.
If I ever get a tattoo,
I'm going to get a tattoo, and I'm going to get it right here on my forearm. Or maybe I will get it on my shoulder blade.
You have a way with words.
But, probably a better idea to get it on my shoulder blade, in case I ever want to get a sustainable job.
Sustainable.
But I think I would just get a tattoo like on my forearm, and it would just be, it would be really simple. It would just be like stripes just down to my wrist, and it would like cut off in a ring like on my elbow and my wrist.
Okay.
Be kind of like like wearing a gauntlet, I guess.
Yeah. I can see that.
I like simple, geometric tattoos. Like, you ever seen those tattoos people have, like, that are, it's like full body. It's like all over their backs, and it's super intricate, like geometric pattern.
Yes.
Those are badass, man.
I've got a buddy that has a biomechanical tattoos, you know what I'm saying? Where it's
like it looks like he has a robot arm.
Almost, yeah. But it's what it is really. What the biomechanical thing means is that like you move your muscles as they tattoo you, and they tattoo it with the movement of the muscles.
Huh.
So that like it moves like your muscles do.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it's mind blowing.
Is that like how you make your tattoo like dance?
Yeah.
Huh.
It's like that principle, but like all over. But it makes for all these crazy shapes. It's almost like musculature and stuff, and it's real flowy and neat looking. But also, it's like 90% of his body, and that's I don't know if I want to do that just yet. Yeah. I do. I mean, I still have like
that's a big commitment.
A lot more tattoos to go myself, but whatever.
Hey Lola, why don't you come down with me down to Dawnwood Park?
Or some other vaguely sexual encounter place.
You'd be surprised. Or maybe not. It's a little bit stiff out here right now.
Over.